Hey, this is probably going to go on YouTube, only going to go on YouTube and Facebook because I know that some people are butthurt when they hear something they don't like. So that's why it's only going to be on Facebook and YouTube. Possibly to Anchor, I'm not sure yet. What I'm going to talk about right now isn't about any of the nasty bugs flying around, but I would like to talk about dissension. Political dissension at best here. Now, the election was certified on the 8th. It is now, what, the 12th? And a lawsuit from Texas was brought up saying blah, 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 blah. Yes, I actually know what the lawsuit was about, but it boils down to Republicans not getting their way because they don't think that these votes for Biden should be counted. They feel they have a right to file a lawsuit. And it was filed by the Attorney General of Texas, a guy with the last name of Paxton, who's a Republican, who's actively under investigation by the FBI for corruption and abuse of power as the Attorney General. Now, for those of you who don't know this, but I'm suggesting that most of you do, Texas is trying to say that those votes shouldn't be counted. I'm sorry, you don't get to disenfranchise millions of people because a bunch of Republicans are butthurt that their candidate didn't win. And yes, I'm saying that in full honesty and not full seriousness. I voted for somebody who didn't win the election. Didn't win by the landslide. She only got like 6% of the vote countrywide. So you want to talk about sore losing? I got more reason to be a sore loser than the Republicans, especially the conservative Republicans. But now, here's the issue at hand. Judge after judge after judge after judge has turned down this idea, and most of them are Trump appointees. But they've turned down these proofs. We'll use proof rather gently. Proof of widespread massive voter fraud, which didn't actually occur. There's no evidence of it. Trump appointees have thrown this out for no evidence being clearly certified. Now, then there is this thing where certain GOPs in certain states want to bring their own pro-Trump electoral voters. The problem with that is you can't bring your own, or you can't just pick your own after the election. These voters, these electoral voters, are supposed to be picked out before the election, and then on the 14th they come and vote, and they're supposed to vote in a manner consistent with their delegation, i.e., if the area they come from is heavily pro-Trump, then they vote Trump. If it's pro-Biden, they vote Biden. If they're pro-Democrat, they go Democrat. If they're pro-Republican, they vote for Republican. They're supposed to vote with their constituent. They're supposed to go with a popular vote. That's how it's supposed to work, to narrow it down. Now, according to this theory, even if you discount one or two of the states, Biden still wins. Now, for those of you claiming, well, that massive voter fraud, that media sided with Biden from the beginning, you're a sore loser. Okay? You are a sore loser. Just as you know. Here's the way it works. We all get together and vote. And in every single vote that's ever happened in the United States, there's called this margin of error. And voting irregularity happens to be in this margin of error. It's happened in every single election since elections have started, even in colonial times. Now, at worst, these voter irregularities that y'all claim are marginal. That's at the very worst. At the very best, they're dedicated to a couple of human errors done by Republicans who are counting the votes. Guess what? You lost the whole scheme there. Another good point is how come voting irregularities and these massive investigations are only happening where Trump lost, not where he won. They're not being investigated the other way. Now, it strikes me as funny that now that the Supreme Court has said, no, we're not handling this. It has no merit. Fuck off. Now, a bunch of conservative Republicans want to form a union of states because they got rejected because they can't have Trump as their president. I'm sorry, but if Hillary won, if it's true that Hillary won the popular vote in the last election, and but she lost the Electoral College, why would that make anybody want to vote ever again? And now Republicans are saying, well, why would conservatives ever want to vote where our vote doesn't count? Listen to this. The Democrats have already been through what you're going through. You bitching now after years of this crap is insane. You've got a president who openly flaunts everything. He even flaunts conspiracy theories that hold no merit. And the only good thing about having Trump as president one more time would be him. The only great thing about the Trump being president for 4 more years would be the fact that he would never, ever be allowed to run again as long as he lives. But y'all go ahead and keep with your slanted thinking and everything like that. Now, these people who are for breaking off and forming a new country that follows the rules of the Constitution, you're mad because the people who have done the judging have judged it constitutionally, and because they did their job, they turned your theory down. You can't hate the rest of the country for following the letter of the law based on the interpretations thus far presented. And all you people that are right wing, who don't like how SCOTUS took this, you lost. Flat out, you lost it. And these interpretations of, well, we can bring our own electoral voters because we don't like the Democrats having being able to change the swing of what we want. That's called a conspiracy theory, dumbass. Electoral voters are picked before the election. It's not wait till after the election and then find out that the popular vote doesn't go the way you want it to. So you as a legislature, we're going to pick our own candidates and you have to let them in now. And we can throw away the people we don't want who aren't voting the way we want. That's called hyperpartisanship. That's not the way the fucking system works. Now, if these states try to leave, which would be my state, and I would be a flagrant fucking communist in that system of theory. If you're that butthurt, imagine what the Democrats felt like when Trump was ushered in, and then Trump did nothing but lie. And I know there are those of you who say, he didn't lie for anything. He told the truth. No, he told the truth according to your perspective. From my perspective, I didn't want Clinton or Trump to be in the White House because I consider them both doddering liars. Having said that, just because you don't like Biden doesn't mean he's not the right president. It means that you're merely butthurt and you want to flagrantly display your hatred of the other side. Now, there's wrongdoing and hatred on both sides, but we'll talk about that later. I have to go now. Have fun.